All right, let's talk about do nows. Do nows for us, we have two versions of them, and I want to focus on the do now readings. The other we will call do now reflections, and that's going to be I'll put a quote on the board, and you'll respond to that in your notebook. That'll be pretty straightforward, and I'll give you those instructions as those come up. But do now readings is something we're going to do a lot of this semester, and this is short readings that I'm going to ask you to read when you get to class quietly. Whatever do now we do, they're meant to be done in silence. They're meant to be quiet activities. So we're going to do our do nows that way. You're going to read 3 or 4 pages, and then you're going to interact with them. And you're going to interact with them through something we call this is something I call TEQs. All right, TEQs is the way I'm going to be able to tell that you've read them. Okay, and TEQs are pretty simple. They are thoughts, epiphanies, or questions. So as you read 2 or 3 pages, as you read this section from the book that we're going to be working on, what you're going to do then is in your notebook, you're just going to put any thoughts, epiphanies, or questions you have. You're going to need 3 of these total. They can be any of them, they can be any combination. It can be one of each. It can be 3 questions and no thoughts or epiphanies. It can be 2 epiphanies and 1 thought. I don't care what the order is. For our do nows, we're looking to have 3 of these so that I can tell that you've read the chapter. Okay, that's the whole idea. Now, you might be asking yourself, what are epiphanies? And this is a fair question because it's not a word we use very often. But epiphanies, as a tier 2 word, you should get to know this one. Epiphanies just means realizations. So if you kind of have in your head epiphanies equal realizations, that's pretty straightforward. That's pretty much what it means. Okay, if you have that going already, another way it's when something all of a sudden makes sense, right? So you've been reading, you've been doing your TEQs, and as you read these chapters, it's like, oh, this is why this other thing happens, right? That's an epiphany. Those kind of key connections. That's what an epiphany is. All right. So thoughts, epiphanies, questions. We're going to use these the entire semester, and we're going to use them in a bunch of different ways, but we're going to use them almost every day when we do our do now readings. All right. So that's where we're starting. As we do longer readings, I'll ask for more TEQs than just 3, but we'll be pretty clear about that as we go. So if you're ever wondering, you can always come back to this and spot what the TEQs are and how we're going to do them. All right, we're going to have fun reading together this semester.